What is up, you guys? Jim Rummick here with the Internal Roots Movement. So let's do a little ground-based movement today, shall we? For sure. We're gonna get our hips fired up, our spine going, our shoulders, all that good stuff. How the body as a whole. So let's think about that. Let's make our body work as a whole. We're going to choose what we move. We're going to listen to our bodies and make sure we articulate our movement and not approximate. So we can take our time. It's not going to take a long time, but just don't be in a rush. Sounds good? Dope. All right, it's going to help to have a mat because hard floor might suck. But anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to sit up nice and tall with our legs together. If you need to bring your hands down to the sides to kind of spot yourself, by all means, at any point in this time, feel free to spot yourself in your hands. Just be mindful that your shoulders don't lift and your spine collapses. Press your cheeks into the floor, lengthen out your spine, reach out to the top of your head, and just use your hands and arms as much as you need to, keeping your shoulders stable as you do. Anyway, let's squeeze our thighs and our ankles together, nice and tight. Let's pull your toes back towards you like you got genie shoes on and spread them. Yes. Now we're going to keep them spread and we're going to push your feet away. Toes are still spread, but we're going to do ballerina feet now. Not ballerina toes, just ballerina feet. There we go. Now just go back and forth a few times. Arms up if you can. Good. Thighs squeezing together, ankles squeezing together. Toes are splayed out, and we're just slowly pushing our feet away and pulling them on back. Good. Let's see if we can brace our stomach a little bit. Tighten up our ribs. Oh, yes. Lift our heart. And pull your armpits down your sides. Told you, the body's gonna work as a whole, okay? We're making everything work. Good. Now, after you pull your feet back towards you, let's grab with your toes. And let's keep your feet pulled back for a second. Keep grabbing with the hot claws going on, or ballerina toes like we said earlier, but your feet are back. Now let's push your feet away, ballerina feet and toes. Good. Or just keep hot claw thinking. Hot claws, it goes back and forth. Good. Let's pull them on back. Thighs are still squeezing together. Stomach still braced. Spine still long. Good. Let's do a couple more, slow and tense. Being mindful of how our feet kind of determine what else happens up in our hips and our thighs, and vice versa. What happens up in your hips and your thighs determines what happens in your feet. They kind of feed off each other. So be mindful of that. Let's make everything work. Not letting our feet relax, even not letting our hands relax, even keep that in mind. Awesome. Oh, yeah, one more thing. If I start sweating a lot, which I'm going to, sorry, I sweat an alarming rate. No worries, I won't die. I haven't yet. All right, now let's pull those feet back. Oh, keep squeezing those thighs together. Let's think nice and tall. Cool. Now, let's go ahead. We're gonna press your left leg down, lift your right, and think tall. Hands down if you need to. Avoid leaning or tilting. Good. Press right down, lift left. Good. Let's press that left back down. Let's point those feet away. Still grabbing with those toes. Lift the right. Own it. Work it. Only going as high as you can maintain posture. Good. Press that right down. Lift your left. Still trying to imagine squeezing your thighs together just a little bit. Just like we were in the beginning. Nice. Let's go ahead and bring that back down. Let's lift the right. Bring it out to the right. Nice. Lift the left. Bring it out to the left. And remember, spot yourself if you need to. Uh-oh. It's already getting wet. Excellent. All right. Feet and toes are pointed away. There we go, I got this. Hands down if you need. And we're gonna keep our butt planted and you're gonna rotate your thighs from within your hips. So let's rotate your thighs in towards each other. Butt stays down, spine stays long. And rotate your thighs out away from each other. Keep the ballerina toes, keep the ballerina feet, grabbing. And back and forth at your own pace. Rotating in towards each other, butt stays down. Rotating out, away from each other. Good. Keep those thighs nice and tight. Yes. Mine just relaxed too. I know, I felt it. That's what we're trying to do. We'll never move perfectly, but we can always move a little better, a little more effectively. And we just gotta know when. And listen to our body, help us know. Good. Let's rotate in one more time. Let's rotate out one more time. Fantastic. Now, let's have them both pointing up to the center, and they're gonna kind of follow each other. So let's bring the left in and the right out, but the butt stays down. And now, the right in and the left out. Awesome. Nice and slow, nice and engaged, nice and tense. Muscular contraction is what we're looking for here. Even throughout the stomach, armpits, ribs, all of that. Lats. Even though we're only moving in 2 spots, we're trying to keep everything else stable. Not just relaxed, but actively stable. Good. Let's do one more. This way? Let's do one more that way. Off to your right. Nice. And now back up to center. Keep those feet pointed away, keep the toes grabbed. And now I want you to press your heels down and start to pull your feet in towards you. Once you can get your toes down, grab with your toes and pull on in. Nice. Now let's spread those toes. Feel it just for a second. Hands down if we need. Hands up if you can. Spread them, spread them, spread them. And now let's find something in between. They're kind of spreading, they're kind of grabbing. Nice, just enough to lift those arches. Excellent. So hands down if you need to. Feel that rotation come from your thighs. And let's go ahead and bring our legs off to the right. Yes. Keeping our feet planted, not letting them slide around on us. And let's go ahead and continue to squeeze the ground and bring our thighs in towards each other. Just like when we're sitting on our butt in the beginning. Thighs squeeze in just a little bit. Good. Let's go ahead and grab with our toes while our feet are flexed. Just a little. Grabbing and spreading, kind of in between. Nice. Now, hands down if you need to. Hands up if you can. Feel that rotation come from the thighs. Pull your feet in towards you as we switch to the opposite side. Off to our left. Fantastic. Squeeze that ground and drive into the ground. Pressing with the outside of your lead leg from the butt all the way down to the ankle and the inside of the back leg from inside of that thigh all the way down to that ankle. And sides of the feet too. Press with as much as you can. Nice. All right, now let's go ahead and head back to the opposite side. Feet planted, legs pulled in, rotation coming from within the thighs. Belly braced, spine long. God, I know a lot of stuff, but it's all we're taking our time. Plenty to think about. You got the rest of your life to think about this crap. So, it's all good. Anyway, what are we doing? Yeah, all this stuff. So, let's go ahead. Let's keep your feet pulled back for now. Grabbing with those toes a little bit. And let's go ahead and just work at the hips. So, you know how a foosball table, you can kind of turn them, little guy goes kicking one way or the other. So let's think about one of those handles to your hips. And we're gonna turn the handle back, so your hips curl under, and then turn the handle forward so your hips curl up and back. Kind of like you're getting a wedgie, but you're just going with it. Yeah, like that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and turn hips under. And now reach it up and back, wedgie style. Good. Feel like your legs are kind of going in and out as you do this. See if you can keep them stable. Keep the legs in place as you tuck it under. And then reach it up and back. Let's do a couple more times. Smooth and tense, smooth and controlled. Right on. Let's see if we can keep a slight tuck and go back to the opposite side and explore, our tuck and our tilt. When we're off to the left. Hands down if you need to, hands up if you can. Feet are active, pressing down to that floor, squeezing that floor. Now, curl the hips under as you tilt the handles back. And then curl the hips back as you tilt the handle forward. Wedgies. There it is. And now back and forth. See if we can keep our foundation in place, our base in place, because it wants to move on us. Keep it stable, keep it still as you work that pelvis. Work in that pelvis. Great thing to do on the weekends, right? Any day of the week, really. What the hell? Couple more times. Slow and controlled. Remember, any little pops, grinds, cracks, totally normal, totally healthy, so long as you're not forcing them. Don't force those pops, cracks, and grinds. Just let them happen. All right. Now, see if we can keep that slight tuck. We're going to go ahead and switch back to the other side. But when we do, let's go ahead and extend our legs out. So I'm going to start by rotating from within the hips, and then I'm going to push out through those feet, through driving the backs of the knees down into the floor, keeping those feet nice and active. Oh, sliding forward. There we go. Told you I was going to get wet. And then as we go to the first side, we're going to pull our legs in, just like how we did in that first part, towards the beginning. We're going to rotate off to the side. We're going to slide those feet down and in and come back off to the other side. Right on, right? All right, so let's just go back and forth a couple times. I'm going to scoot back just to give me some space. And think tall, hands down, spot yourself if you gotta. And we're going to press out through our feet. Press our knees down, and then we're going to press down with our feet and pull our heels and feet in as we go off to the left. And now, at your own pace, try to keep a little bit of a tuck, just so you're not overly arching, but not overly tucking too. Whatever gives you a nice, long, flat spine for now. And press forward to those feet. Keep those feet nice and active, thighs nice and active. And let's pull it on back in. Good. Back and forth just a couple more times. Press out as we turn forward. Pull in as we turn off to the side. Right. Let's go ahead and switch it on back. Back off to our right. Fantastic. We're gonna go back off to the center. So press out, press out, press out as you do. Both cheeks flat just for a second, and we pull our legs back in. Rotate off to the side. Now, let's go ahead and just come back to center. Whew. And we're gonna do that exact same thing. We're gonna add an extension to it, okay? So let's go ahead and pull those legs in. Let's bring ourselves off to the right. Now, feet are flexed initially. Let's go ahead, squeeze that ground, press into that ground like we were talking about, with the hips tucked under a little bit. We're going to drive into that earth, turn the top of the shins over, and point the feet as we come up. So feet point as we come up, hips are tucked, cheeks are squeezing, and everything's nice and braced. Here comes a cover of a comic book cover. There we go. All broad-chested, all proud, just glistening in the sunlight, or whatever the hell lights these are. Nice. See if you can keep your tuck as we start to pull ourselves back down to the floor. Rotating those shins a little bit and pulling our feet back. Yes. Now we drive out as we turn forward. And we switch back off to that left side. Come up to our extension. Tuck under a little bit. Squeeze and press in that ground. Feet are active. And we point those feet as we come up. Making sure those cheeks are tight. Belly's tight. Ribs tight. Spine long. And pinch those elbows in if you can. Pinch those armpits, pinch those elbows, and pull your armpits down your sides. Yes. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves down, keeping our tuck a little bit if possible, pulling our feet back as we lower. Good, let's press forward with our legs. Pull it on back as we go back off to our right. Tucked under, we extend as we press and squeeze that ground. Fantastic. Own it, wear it just for a second, listen to your body, see what it has to tell you. It's always got something to say, as long as you listen. If you don't listen enough, it yells at you, it sucks. All right, let's bring it on down. Flexing our feet as we do. Let's press our feet forward, drive our legs down. Back off to our left. Pull it on in. Squeeze and press as we extend. Hips under, cheeks are squeezing. Bite down on the underwear, hard as you can, like your butt is super hungry. And it craves cloth. Just a little bit, not a lot. Cool. Let's pull it on back down, flexing our feet, being mindful of how we engage the floor, being mindful of our foundation, not just our movement. Right on. Press forward with your feet. Drive down with your legs. Now, if you need to, right arm down, left arm forward. Now, what the hell, let's do that anyways. Right arm down, left arm forward. Neck is long, chest is proud. Make a nice tight fist. Keep your armpits pulled down your side. And we're gonna go ahead and reach back. Good, open those fingers, press that hand down. Let's make a fist on the other side. Bring it on up and forward. Yes, we're gonna go back and forth a couple of times. Good. Now you have your hand down behind you. Feel free to bring your hand off the floor, but keep your arm behind you. So it's not on the ground anymore. Unless it needs to be, no worries. But if possible, just keep your fingers nice and spread behind you, pressing down with your fingertips a little bit. So kind of like how we did that thing with our feet, we're trying to spread and grab just a little bit with those toes. See if you can find a balance with your hands too, when the hands are open. I know, so much to think about, but it's all right. We have plenty of time. Especially in quarantine, just chilling, hanging out with our dogs and stuff like that. Well, I am. They're outside the door right there. It's like, what is this guy doing? Who's he talking to? Not us, but it's all good. Talk to myself a lot anyways. A couple more times. You still squeezing your thighs? Yeah, I forgot to. Squeezing your feet. There it is. How about your ribs, your stomach? There we go. Squeeze those arms a little bit harder. Let's do it. Like one more on each side. Dope. Let's do that. Yes. All right. So guess what? Now, let's go ahead and bring both arms up. Oh, yes. Tight fist. Start with your pinkies and with your thumbs. Let's screw our thumbs back into the walls behind us. Now just lift your left shoulder, keeping your thumbs in place, and drop it down. Lift your right shoulder, and then drop it down. Good. Lift that whole armpit and shoulder. Pull it on down. Lift that whole armpit and shoulder, and pull it on down. Now just hold for a second. Let's make sure your butt's pressing down, your thighs are squeezing together a little bit. Ankles, see if you can press them apart. Thighs together, ankles apart. Ooh, I know, a little bit different. Imagine getting pulled by your wrist while you're here. Now let's lift and then roll forward on one side, thumbs still staying in place. Roll it on back, other side, lift and roll forward. Good. Bring it on down. Let's lift and roll forward, making that shoulder work from that torso, from within that torso. Or I guess around, realistically, and a little within. If you want to get really technical, oops, I leaned away. I don't want to lean. There we go. Just caught myself. Oh, one more on this right side. One more on this left. Oh wait, one more on the right again. Yeah. All right. Now let's go ahead and lift the whole shoulder and then roll the entire arm forward. Whoo! Now the whole arm and shoulder rolls back as a unit. You're right, the other side comes next. Lift, roll forward. Boys, stay out. Lift and roll back. Sorry. Lift, roll forward. So as that left is rolling forward, right is rolling back. Think about wringing yourself out like a towel. Oh, good. Lift, roll back. Other side, lift, roll forward. Last one, just because you asked so nicely. Lift, roll back. This left side, lift, roll forward. Yes, hands up high, arms up high. Good. Lift and roll back. Whoo, let's go ahead and bring those arms down. And let's go ahead and get to our knees real quick. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're getting sweaty. All right. So let's bring your knees and your feet together. Let's keep your feet pulled back just for a second. Let's grab and spread with those toes just a little bit and press your heels back to the walls behind you as you squeeze your heels together and your knees together. Excellent. Well, let's just see how far back we can pull our butt to our heels as your feet actively press back towards that wall behind you. Yes. Good. Let's drive down with those hands. Let's pinch with those arms, squeezing them together. Rotating your biceps forward. Awesome. Now press down with that right side super, super hard. And let's lift your left. Yes. Not forcing any range of motion. Just coming up, reaching toward the ceiling, and then bringing it back down. Now, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Keeping a slight bend in that planted arm if you need to. Trying to keep our body as still as we can without leaning or tilting. As the arm and shoulder reach up, or just arm from the shoulder. Back and forth at your own pace. Press down extra hard into that earth to stabilize. Stronger the foundation, the stronger the structure. And let's go ahead and switch it on up. Magnificent. Let's do one more on each side. Keeping the neck long, keeping the armpits pulled down. Not forcing any range of motion. Just working with our bodies, seeing what they want to do and what they can do this present time and place. There'll be more later. No worries. Bring it on down. Let's go ahead and pull forward slightly. Point those feet. Pull your butt back to your heels as much as your body allows. Take a moment to breathe. One big deep breath. Give yourself a moment to smile and appreciate time well spent. Anytime listening to your body and sweating a little bit, it's time that you put in and you should be thankful for. So thank you for joining me. Hope you had a little bit of fun. Sorry I'm so repulsively sweaty, but anyway, I had a good time. Hope you had half the fun that I did, and see you next time.